Hello, I'm Michael Redmond, and I'm here to give you a commentary for the final commentary for this first day of the Meijin tournament title match here in Tokyo. And so my previous video came up to move 92, which is this attachment. So black extended. So at this point, this group of white 4 stones is in danger, so white played here to connect. And white's idea, white has an idea of sacrificing this 1 stone to extend out into the center. So white can if white can make a kind of a connection here on the 5th line, then white will have influence towards the center and potential for moyo here, and maybe even possibilities to attack black on the upper side. So that's white's idea. And it's a very difficult position for black because black has a lot of choices, basically. Black not only can play here, which is a very solid move that takes territory, black also has the option of playing something from outside, for instance like this, to try to get an attack on white, which will not be a decisive attack, but in some cases it can be very effective. So it's very typical of Yama, I might say, that he, instead of playing directly from this area, he played the attachment here to try to get some potential elsewhere. And his idea is to change how he plays in this upper right area, depending on how white responds in the lower right area. So white covers, and black starts another ko again. It's very interesting to see the players playing all these kos in this game. Of course, Cho is well known to like kos, so he just loves to play kos all the time. But Iyama likes them fairly much also. So we have another ko developing here. And so black can use this forcing move, threatening to capture the white stones here. So he can use this as a ko threat. White also used this ko threat. And again, just like it was with this ko in the lower left, which was also a step ko, this also is not really a direct ko, because if black plays something like this, white will still be able to play the ko. So it's not really a direct ko for either side. So black continues to answer white's ko threats. This is very natural. And this is forcing. It's threatening if white fills the ko, for instance. This would not really be completely dead yet, but for the time being, black would be able to cover here, and white's not alive yet in the corner, and black has nice shape on the outside. So this would be a very big move. So white answers, capturing these 2 stones. Black takes the ko. And white is sort of out of ko threats. Like white could play this one, but there is a lot of, there's a fairly major loss in this peep, because it makes a big difference if white plays this kind of move later. Then it would be a lot better not to have the peeping stone there. So instead of playing this, what might be called a bad ko threat, white backs away from the ko for a time, because black also has trouble choosing ko threats in this position. Now black played a very exciting move, but actually when people ask the computer, we have very strong so-called AIs, or computer programs that play Go, who can give us analysis or evaluations of the positions. Black's winning percentage actually went down when he played this move. It looked like a very exciting move that is trying to get forcing moves in this area and set up an attack on white. For instance, something like this would be an example of how black could create some forcing moves on this side to make it more difficult for white to escape. For instance, if white cuts here, it's just a double Atari. So extra forcing moves on this side would make it more difficult for white to escape with that group in the upper right. So it could be that this is the idea behind this move. And indeed, white did not answer directly, but protected the weak group. However, it does confuse the game, which was looking good for black, even if black had just simply played a move like this, which would be much more straightforward. So maybe it did complicate matters. White covered on the 4th line. This is actually a fairly big move. So although black is going to get 2 moves in a row in this area, white is getting something back on the side. Black Hana is on top. And white goes down here. So extending down here looks like it's a small move. But it sets up the peep here, which is a big follow-up move. And this would be forcing against the corner. So black stopped that by covering here. And now white had a choice. Actually, at this point, the computer evaluation has changed to be about even. So it's, I think the computer was saying that if white plays here, it would be 49% winning percentage for white. So that's almost even. And certainly good enough for most humans. Like even a 60 to 40% difference is, it's something that can be reversed in an actual play for humans. So 49% winning percentage is just about even as far as we're concerned. Instead, white played here. And this is the final move that I can show you. Strictly speaking, there's one more move that was played today because this title match uses a sealed move, which is the player whose turn it is. In this case, it was Iyama's who has the turn now. He plays his final move by writing it down on the record of the game, and he seals that in an envelope, which he then hands to the referee. So Cho has not seen the next move. None of us have seen the next move, and we won't see it until tomorrow morning when the referee opens the envelope and starts the game. But just to guess what it might be, I'm sort of expecting some kind of counterattack on the right side, because while this move would have been a safe move, this move is a bit adventurous. And so at the very least, black can play an attachment here to reduce white's right side, or black could even go further in on the third line, an invasion here. Both of these lead to very tactically difficult variations, very exciting fights that could happen. So those would be two moves that I would guess might be the sealed move. There is a kind of a tradition of trying to guess what the sealed move will be. Also, if I were to choose one more possibility, I would say maybe black could start a ko here before doing something like this, which would be more dangerous, but it would make it a very exciting fight also. So I'll end my commentary here, and see you tomorrow. So thank you.